Yo, it's a big one. Starting another big build. If you haven't noticed, I got a whole pile of stuff behind me. That is a 2023 Lowrider S with only 2,000 miles on it that we are going to build into something ridiculous. We've got a whole bunch of partners involved. Advan Black, we got some real sick Ness bars, we got a Trask Performance parts, we got some Legend suspension, we got some Clockworks, we got some Stealth, we got some Thunder Max, PSR, Heart Luck, Thrashing, Kruesi Originals, whole bunch more Ness stuff coming. This is gonna be a big build. We are building this bike for Law Tigers. Law Tigers is gonna be giving this bike away. It's really, really easy to enter. You basically just gotta email them. I'll have all the details for that coming at you soon. You also win this bike, a paid trip to Sturgis, $2,000 in cash. You win some of these and some of these, some real American stuff. It's gonna be sick. We're gonna be building this whole series. It's gonna be given away at Sturgis. We'll be presenting the bike to the lucky winner of this. The bread and the things. All that cool stuff is going down. I'm gonna start with basically just disassembling this bike today. We're gonna be tearing into some Advan Black stuff. We're gonna be making this kind of into a big wheel ST. A little different than what we normally do. A little different style. Kind of already did it with Trent's Fat Bob a little bit, but this one's gonna be a little different than that because a little more on the kind of low and slow and show kind of type of thing. I wanna do something a little different. It's something I've kind of wanted to do for a really long time. And now we have the opportunity and we're gonna do it. So like, subscribe, ring that bell, don't go anywhere because you don't want to miss any of this because you could miss out on a chance to win it. All right, we're gonna start disassembling this thing. First thing we're gonna start with today is putting in some Legends cartridges. It's gonna be a lot of disassembly and a lot of taking the front end of this bike apart, getting ready for everything. I've got my lovely assistant, Smokin Joe. A lot of people have been asking where Joe's at. Joe is still always around. Just not necessarily here on film day because those are very busy, busy days. And so he comes on the days that we can hang out and do all that stuff. But Joe's gonna be my lovely assistant. Jonah White is here today. First things first, Joe, can you get this dude off here? We've got some bag on here. It's got straps. These dudes just done Velcro from there. I'm gonna start pulling the fairing off. This is Harley's new clamshell style fairing. First time I've seen one. It's pretty sick, honestly. I kind of hate to take it off because I really like it. Maybe we'll use it down the road on something else, something that could be cool.
That's a nice picture.
It's an oldie there.
Yeah, I got a picture of Ryan Kruesi in the old days at the old shop.
Very young.
Very young Ryan Kruesi. We got this. Keep the streets alive on the shirt.
Also, many, many years ago, I was probably like 38
This one?
in that era right there. That was at the old shop long, long time ago.
I like your haircut this way.
Yeah?
All back like that.
Oh yeah, let's address the elephant in the room. I have hair and glasses. Finally got glasses because, God, I couldn't see. Couldn't see to save my life. I was wearing readers all the time and that was a pain in the ass. So I got glasses. And I usually kind of run my head shaved more than anything, like a 5 on top and a 1 on the sides. I prefer it that way. It's very nice. When you're wearing a helmet all the time, it's really nice. Look at that. It comes off easy.
That's a nice little fairing.
It is a nice fairing. Really nice fairing. But my wife prefers that I have hair. Not like this, but we'll compromise. If I'm gonna have hair, this is how I ran my hair for, I don't even know, 10 years, 15 years, something like that. I'm just gonna prove to her that how bad the receding hairline is, and that's why I keep my hair short. So, hey, you know, it is what it is, so here we go.
Hey, it is what it is. Can't worry about that stuff. Look.
Sometimes she grows, sometimes she don't, and she's on the don't, you know?
I hear you. I gotta tell you something. For an old guy, you're doing good.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, Joe.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still mostly there.
I like this motorcycle. Oh, I'm ringing.
Different.
Hello? What are you gonna do to this?
A little bit of everything.
You gonna do the pipes?
We're gonna do exhaust, we're gonna do some fairings, a Kruesi Originals K-bar, some wheels, yep. That's the main thing, we're still waiting on wheels right now, so we're doing kind of a wild wheel size that I really need to set up the suspension and everything else, kind of do a whole lot of reel moving forward. Other than that, we're getting real close. Right now, it's just a lot of disassembly.
I'm going to take a lot of chances on this bike. I'd like to have this motorcycle.
Joe's going to try and win. What was that contest you were trying to win with Orange County Choppers for a long time? Remember that?
Yeah.
Turned out to be a scam, wasn't it?
It was a scam.
You had to basically buy your way into winning.
Exactly. I got it.
Headlights off. We'll make a little stockpile of all the things we take off over here. Screw that guy on in there, Joe. Joe's just whistling while he works.
This
So
part
the
of the
stock,
fairing?
yeah, the stock fairing. You know that stock sports show looking
yeah,
fairing
yeah,
butts
yeah.
up against this, but that thing's long gone. We will take that off. All right, Joe, I'm gonna put you to work.
Do you know something? I'm going to be 85 years old.
Takes you 85 minutes to get a bolt out, too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
85 though, mamma mia.
Yeah.
What the hell am I going to do?
You're the same age as Sturgis.
I am exactly the same age. I was there for the 70th when I was 70. I was there for the 80. What was the last?
84th, and you were 84.
Where's the other one?
We're getting close.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good two-hand action there.
I don't know.
Her daughter is Dorothy Petrillo. That's her maiden name. After she was married, she was Dorothy Spornak. Dorothy Spornak, Sophia Petrillo. You don't know who that is. Joe?
No idea.
God, really? They all live together? You know, Rose Nyland and f***ing Blanche Devereaux?
Oh, the Golden Girl.
Oh, it all comes together.
We're so fired. He's never.
Oh my
No,
God.
I never watched the Golden Girls.
What? Joe, you gotta watch The Golden Girls, man. It's amazing. One of the greatest comedies of all time.
Did you ever watch Seinfeld?
Didn't like Seinfeld.
No, I didn't like Seinfeld either, but I did watch some of it.
Why is that guy wearing a coat? I mean, he's got a coat on right now. Like, f off. That's garbage comedy. You know, I know you're all gonna be mad at me for not liking Seinfeld, but Seinfeld was boring. Golden Girls, on the other hand, zingers all day long.
I'll check it out.
It was brilliant.
You know what my favorite one was? Weeds.
Weeds?
That
Yeah?
was Such a good.
Was that good? I loved her.
I never saw it. Wasn't she like selling grass and was like a stay-at-home mom or something? And
Yeah, oh, it was a person. And you know what else was good? Remember the one where they were making crystal meth out in the desert? What was that?
oh God,
Bad.
Breaking
Breaking
Bad.
Bad.
I watched about 2 minutes of it. That was my childhood. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch that shit for entertainment. I lived it. Yeah, my oldest kid loved that show, and my wife watched the whole way thing too. Like, it's such a good show. I'm like, I don't need to watch it. And that was my dad. I'm cool.
Yep.
Had enough of that, but I'm sure it was a good show. But man, y'all can keep that meth shit to yourself.
They got a lot of new ones on now, but
Oh, Last Kingdom. You ever watch that? That's the greatest show ever. Yeah, the part of Tom. You're gonna be my bag man.
why are we putting these in bags?
I like to keep some Crown Royal bags around. Don't drink the stuff myself because it's not good.
You
But
know what I had last night? Grappa.
grappa.
Did you ever have that?
What is that?
It's Italian liquor, and mamma mia, it's the strongest shit I ever had in my life. I had one shot last night at dinner. I was messed up.
Put you down, does it?
No, it don't put me down, but I was feeling pretty good.
All right, I'll shove this dude in the bag and then hang that bag off of whatever you can up there, and it keeps these dudes from hanging on the brake lines.
Now that's a good idea.
And
man.
banging around on stuff too. You gotta spread your sack open there a bit, Joe. Joe's got a pretty good sized bag on him there.
Oh yeah.
There she is. All right, roll around to this side. Let's sack up one more time.
You know what? My whole wardrobe is Kruesi shirts. I have every one that ever came out, I think. Tommy's good. Tommy keeps me up to date.
Sack that dude up for me there,
He
Joe.
says to me, oh, Joe, we got a new one. And of course, I get that discount price. You know what I don't like about this motorcycle?
What is it?
Those are the ugliest freaking wheels I ever seen.
You don't like them?
Uh-uh.
Oh, I
I
do.
don't like the color and I don't like the wheels.
I like her both ways. I like the colors and the wheels, but they're coming off. They're going away. So you'll be all right when you
All
win it. Joe always tries to enter our bike giveaways. He's like, I'm winning that one. I'm like, no, you're not. He's like, why not? I'm like, none of our f***ing friends are winning one of our bikes that we're giving away. It's not happening, Joe.
Yeah.
Well, this is not our giveaway, though. This is Law Tiger's giveaway, so Joe can enter all he wants to on this one.
I'm gonna. Would I love a trip to Sturgis? With
Again?
with 2 rifles and this motorcycle and what else?
$2,000.
Shit.
It's quite the deal.
Are you guys gonna go to Sturgis?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. This time though, I'm doing it different. I told you I'm wanted dead or alive in Wyoming.
Yep.
I got pulled over and the officer came up to my truck and said, license and registration? And then he said to me, this truck smells like marijuana. I said, yes, officer. I said, I have my medical card and I don't smoke while I'm driving, but I said I smoked last night before I went to bed. I'm bullshitting him. Anyway, so he says, go sit in my patrol car. I said, why? He says, because I freaking told you to. So I went back and sat in the patrol car. Meanwhile, he went through my whole truck, ripped my bags apart, this guy, and stole my weed and my whole kit. I had the grinder, the rolling papers. I had my whole kit. Then he gives me a ticket. And he says, Joe, you know, marijuana is illegal in Wyoming, so I'm going to give you a ticket and you're going to have to appear in court. I said, you're telling me I got to come all the way back here to Wyoming to appear? He said, I'm telling you that, yes. I said, all right. So I went to Sturgis, had a good time. Coming home, the fuel pump went. I'm parked along the side of the road, cop pulls up. I'm in Wyoming. And he says to me, excuse me, sir, because on my truck I got Smokin Joe's Garage, the emblem. So he says, excuse me, sir. He says, were you pulled over 3 or 4 days ago? I says, I was, yeah. He says, that was my partner. And he says, let me tell you something. You were the talk of the precinct. He said, you're telling me you're 80, I was 83, I guess, 84, 84. And he said, you're driving a 1997 old truck all the way to Sturgis with all this weed you had. And
How much grass? Tell him how much it was, Joe.
well, I had probably a good ½ ounce.
Oh, that ain't too bad.
No, but he took it.
He took it.
So he says to me, he says, we watched your YouTube channel. And he says, we didn't believe that at your age, you're driving here, you got the weed, you're all by yourself. I said, sometimes a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Why don't you tell him why you were the talk of the town, though? Because what you were telling the cop when he took your grass. Joe's trying to talk this cop into just letting him roll one more joint before he hits the road. He's like, well come
I
on,
did.
man.
I says, can I have something for the ride? And he said, no. He took everything I had. But you want to know what I did? As soon as I got out of Wyoming, I went to the medical marijuana they have in South Dakota. And I bought myself a nice little package.
Smokin Joe, everybody.
They don't call me Smoker Joe for nothing. But I am proud of you guys because you quit.
Well, I did.
And Trent. Trent quit too, didn't he?
No.
So, make a long story short, I am wanted in Wyoming because I never answered the ticket. I just blew it off. I said, I ain't driving back to Wyoming, that's for sure. So I'm wanted, and that's okay.
It's good to be wanted, Joe. It feels nice.
Yeah, it is more good to be wanted. So.
I don't go to Colorado anymore.
Why not?
They tried to arrest me last time I was there for a YouTube video. Durango
That's
Police
right.
Department tried to arrest me for a YouTube video from the year prior because they wanted to make an example out of me. Because after the brawl, a bunch of people in town were terrorizing the streets, which was not us, but it was people that were hyped about, you know, stunt riding. And they're like, we know you're the dude, we saw it your YouTube, so we're gonna make an example out of you and we're gonna arrest you on a felony warrant. I was like,
Holy shit, when was this?
last year at Four Corners. I won't be going back there again. Peace. Hell no. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. We need you to come to the police station and turn yourself in. I'm like, for what? I didn't do anything. You don't see me ride on the streets much. Like, I don't really do that shit anymore, really. Like, I'm too old. I got too many sponsors. I got too much riding, you know, too many liabilities. I keep it in the lot.
How the hell did you come up with Kruesi Originals?
I ripped it off from Paul Yaffe Originals, really. Many, many years ago. Biker Build Off was first going on, and Yaffe Originals, I was like, that's a pretty sick name, because everybody's like Smoke Dick Customs, or Twisted, or Evil, or just shit. And I was just like,
No.
Kruesi. I've always been on a quest to make my last name known, because if you know where I come from and my last name comes from, you know, like, I'm trying to put it up a little higher than where it's been. So, Kruesi Originals.
There you go.
We do shit that's original. I don't like to follow the norm. So, I told Paul, I was like, yeah, man, you know that I kind of ripped off my name from Paul Yaffe Originals. I thought that was dope and it was original. And he goes, well, I ripped it off from some old hot rod guy from the 60s. So I was like, all right. We just carried it on, you know, that's it. So, you know what sucks is I don't have a clamp big enough for these, I don't think. So, I haven't done one of these in a long time. We normally just get rid of these altogether, but I just asked Trent, because he just did his Fat Bob, you just unscrew this cap and drop the Legends cartridges in, and it's just that easy. Apparently, there's no bolt in the bottom. There is no bolt in the bottom. There is on this side. So what the fork? One side has one side don't. One side's a cartridge, one side's a spring and damper. Yeah. Yeah, one side's got a screw hole. I guess I could read the directions. I mean, that would be the easiest way to do it. Too, so. Yeah, it's real life. Don't know everything. So, I glimpsed at the directions, and right now I'm winging it.
You glanced at the direction.
Yeah, I gave him a good once over. Yeah, maybe give me a read over there, Joe. I think that I gotta get this dude out of, oh, there she goes. All over the place like I assumed. Man, that fork oil is brand new. This thing has 0 miles on it. It is a brand new motorcycle. So I gotta let this drain. I gotta take this cap off. Then there's a special castle nut tool that goes up inside this dude. All up inside her.
Where's the rag? I'll get that off the floor.
Here we go. We'll let that guy drain for a boot.
Okay.
Man, it's really picking up steam, ain't it? Got my Law Tiger's tablecloth a little dirty. So, caps off. This is the rod for the doodad here. Now, there's a big weird looking castle nut thing in here, which you probably won't be able to see unless you get right up in there, but see that, dude? You gotta have a specialty tool for that, which here at Kruesi Originals, we do have. And I could probably put the link down in the description, but I'm gonna be honest, there's probably not a link in the description to put down there. I think you gotta get them out of
How
Drag
bad are
Specialties.
these brand new stock forks compared to the Legend?
How are they?
Yeah, in other words, you're taking these apart and you're putting Legend things in there.
Oh, they don't compare.
Huh?
I'd say they don't.
They don't.
No. So this is like a real nitrogen-filled cartridge, and then you've got like a damper and spring set up on the one side like this does, but this is basically just damper and spring on both sides, but they kind of set up like a fake cartridge. This, it's an inverted front end, and everybody's all hyped about it. It's not an inverted front end. It is just basically your standard Harley-Davidson front end that's upside down. That's
Well,
really
back years ago, that was a big thing, upside down forks.
yeah,
right?
but they ran like valving and cartridges
Yeah,
and like
you're right.
real like sport bike stuff, like real
Yeah.
badass inverted front ends. This is not. This is just a Shimano front end, or not Shimano, Showa front end. I'm thinking mountain bikes right now.
I've always heard you talk about the Legend suspension, and but I never could figure that out. Because you know what? I don't ride hard enough, I guess.
I mean, you've also just never had real suspension before, so
Well, I guess not.
Harley-Davidson suspension for the most part is awful. And then once you ride with any kind of better suspension that's like a quality brand, I would say there's a lot of them out there that are not quality, that are basically just, you're just paying for a different colored stock suspension. But like Legends, American Suspension Racing, Fox makes good stuff. That's probably all that I would run, to be honest. But there's a massive difference. Suspension's everything. You know, like building a race car or anything, suspension should always be the first thing you do. Like, first thing I'm doing to a car, truck, or motorcycle, for me, is gonna be suspension.
What
Always.
about-
So here it is, Jim's tool. The part number is 583125647. Jim's Castle Nut tool. Weird looking doodad. See all that shit? It locks into this guy. Then we're gonna hit it with a gun.
Well, what about the two shocks on my Fat Boy that are underneath? Do they make Legend suspension for that?
Yep.
I should get them.
No, I mean, you don't really need them. We already put a lowering kit and all that stuff down there. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, for as much as you already have into that bike and as much as you ride it, I don't think it would be worth it, but.
Well, those shocks got to be pretty tired.
Yeah, but
in 35 years.
I know, but you weigh 97 pounds, so I don't even think they know
I'm
you're on the bike.
117.
117 pounds, they don't know you're on there, so. Oh, I'm gonna need more juice than that. This is a real gun type of thing. They're definitely nice. It's just a better all around ride. And the cartridges from Legends have always been fairly stiff, but they've recently, as of this last year, changed their spring rates. So they have a standard and a soft. The standard is much softer and a whole lot better. And the soft is really nice. I run the softs on my bagger, and I like my front end a little softer. I think this is regular threads. Let's see, did it work? No? All right, hold the phone. Oh, well, it's under spring pressure.
You got it.
Oh, I definitely got it. Got a face full of it. There she is, that's the valve on top. This is like your top out spring, which would be on the bottom of a regular damper rod and spring setup with a bit of a valve. It's kind of like a gold valve and race tech kit, but not nearly as good or as efficient. So there's that. There's that, dude. We won't need any of that anymore. God, I got a little bit of fluid in my face. And then look, that's it. It's just a spring. That's what we're changing is
The spring.
well, yeah, we're going from just basically a spring and this little bullshit valve here that's not a valve. Look, you see through the holes? You see me through those holes? That's all it is. So here, let me show you a little example. This is a 49 millimeter damper rod right here. See, it's got these, it goes in like this, and you have a top out spring that goes right here. This little hole right here is all that controls your oil flow, and you got to bleed off up here. So this is your valving in a stock 49 mil front end, which is nothing. There's no oil control except for how small the hole is, it slows down the fluid, and the thicker fluid you put in, the slower it's going to move. But there's not really anything. So that's why when you run like a Race Tech kit, there's a gold valve set up with a valve stack that goes on top of here, which cuts this off, then actually controls the fluid flow. And that's what creates suspension. The spring is like preload the shit out of your spring. Your spring is not suspension. The spring is just ride height and where it sets in the sag. That's what you do with your spring. Valving is what you want. Valving is what controls the flow, controls the flow. Zero valving, this is the exact same thing, only they just put the holes in the top instead of down on the side and flowing all the way through. They control it with just 2 small holes. Almost the same size. Yep. See through them? So, you're not buying a inverted badass front end. You're just buying an upside down damper rod and spring. So you get that inverted front end look, but that's it. You're not getting what you think you're getting in like a sport bike. Like a sport bike inverted front end has valving, has a shim stack, has actual valving, has a full-blown cartridge, like an FXDX. Good Lord. My glasses are covered in oil. Actually has that stuff. Now this guy, which it has this crazy case on here, but this is an actual cartridge, a nitrogen-filled cartridge. Then you have a spring, and you have the whole dampener system down here. Then on this side is a spring and cartridge system on top. So now you're basically doing a really easy, this is also easy, you could do this at home pretty easily if you have that castle nut tool, which that's not cheap, but it's cheaper than paying me to do it, and I don't want to do it for you because I'm too busy. So this is just like dropping in a whole sport bike cartridge front end, full upgrade. Now you have a real inverted front end that is pretty awesome. And I gotta clean my glasses off, I can't see shit. I am going to put some fluid in this. We're gonna use Blood Racing lubricants. This is, so let's say Bell Ray's really good. This is light years ahead of that, or anything else. This is on a whole nother level. This is what like a lot of the race teams use. This is a very, very, very high quality, high end oil that does not break down. You can pretty much run that stuff forever. So she takes 5.1 ounces in the cartridge side. So all we gotta do now is take this here beautiful cartridge, slide it in here like this. I'm gonna put a little fluid on these threads so they thread in nicely. Man, that's gonna be really hard to thread down. Oh, there's the trick. Long-winded, real long-winded this thing is. Switch to the other hand. That one gets tired after time, you know. Still turning. All right, she's snug. Now, get a big effing wrench on it. Oh, come on. Really? I don't got one big enough. I do have some big ass channel locks though. We'll just grab each corner with the corners. If you take this dude and see where they got the and the there, recess into the corners of the nut. When you're getting a nut, don't let it slip and gouge things. Oh, that's pretty tight. Got me sweaty, it's so tight. All right, we're done pretty much. So now we just gotta put fluid in it. So we're gonna hold her up in the air, give her a little tilt ski. I'm gonna just pour it onto the shaft ever so slowly. Let it roll its way down on in yonder. It's about a shout and a holler from being done right now. Where do you wanna go to eat, Joe? Want to go up somewhere by the house? I'm probably just gonna call it a day after this, to be honest.
Yeah, we could even do a...
Nice off day, huh?
Yeah, I like them.
It has been an exhausting 2.5, 3 weeks, that's for sure.
Yeah, I bet you it was, man.
I feel like I just can't recover. No matter how much sleep I get, I'm just tired.
And I'm sure you were, worried that, everything would go off all right. And you had some crowd there, boy, I tell you.
It was big.
I watched one time they were rolling in and rolling in. Holy smokes.
So we're talking about Metro Mayhem. Bike Week just got over and we just hosted Metro Mayhem and it looked like there was 10,000 people there. But I couldn't give you a full count. I know what ticket sales were, but there was also all the ride-ins and racers, drivers and competitors and crazy amount of people. Thank you all that came out very much. This was the busiest Bike Week I've seen out here in probably 4 years. Since before COVID. It's been pretty bad since COVID. This is the first year it's been like back full blast and it was popping, man. Like our party we had here on Thursday was massive. The amount of people that were on that ride was a huge ride. Huge.
Be right back.
Where are you going?
I got to get something.
Okay, stay quiet. Your mic's still on.
I'll be right back.
No chance.
Not a chance. Look at that.
How you doing?
One side done. Hold the phone. Next, I'm gonna squeeze that in there and I'll torque that in the bike because I can clamp it. So this is the right side.
This is 1998, was the first Bike Week. And then, look, I got them all the way. Here's the 2025, my little vest.
We got this dude in here right now. I just have it, this is not where it's gonna sit, but I just have it clamped so I can tighten this, which I can't because the handlebars are in the way. That's very convenient. Hold while I recalibration time. There she is. Right side fork is in. This is not the height that it's gonna sit. We need to get the wheel and then we're gonna set the height from there. But it's done. That literally, I don't know how long it took me, but it took me very little amount of time. It's pretty easy to do. If you have that fork cap tool, which we got that out of Drag, so you call the shop, we can get that to you. We can ship it straight to you. That's a pretty easy product. It's probably $100-ish if I had to guess, maybe less, but it's not cheap. It is a Jim's tool. You do have to have it to do this job. Other than that, once you have it, then you can charge all your homies around the neighborhood to do it because you'll know how to do it because it's a pretty damn easy job. It doesn't really take a lot of technical skills, just paying attention, stop, look, and think. That will get you through every single job. Don't just do it. Stop, look at it, think about how it goes through, think about how it works, analyze it, take the time, do it right, take the time, patience, that's also the key. Maybe have Joe around to coax you on and get things moving. It is time for us to call it a day. June's got to go pick up her kid from school. Me and Joe, we're gonna go hit the town.
Yes, we are.
What is today? Wednesday? It's Wet Your Whistle Wednesday.
It is what you
Whoop,
want.
whoop. See you tomorrow. We'll finish this shit up.
As Kruesi would say, peace.
We're back. It's the next day. Joe's not here because Joe's home. Joe should be coming by pretty soon though because he did forget his teeth here. So he's got to come back and get his teeth pretty soon. We're on to the left side fork leg. There's a bolt down here at the bottom. Ah, sorry. My back seized up when I was feeding my cat this morning. But 6 mil Allen. I'd say use an air gun. Whoop! Blow that dude out of there. It's got this little bolt right here. Already took it out. So she's been draining. I had a lot of stuff, meetings and things this morning. And yes, I do know about what happened to Michelle Hale. I got a lot of phone calls about that today. If you don't know that story, that's just old news and it couldn't have happened to a better guy, to be honest. Oh my God. Oh Lord. I'm gonna push a little more fluid out of this dude. And we're gonna pop this cap off right here, which could be under spring pressure. I don't really remember. I know the other one was, and I took it to the chin. This one is not under spring pressure, which makes things pretty nice. Oh, this is the cartridge side. Oh, interesting. So it does have a cartridge on one side, so which would make for a little bit of valving and such. Pour a little juice out of this guy. Man, they do not put much fluid in these. Factory. Stay for me, buddy. Two-hand job here. If you're just rebuilding one of these front ends, you need to get all this fluid out of here and make sure you pump this dude out and then pump it back up when you put it back together. But for now, cocks. Literally felt perfectly fine. And I bent down to get some cat food for the old tire pile kitty and everything back here just went, yeah! And it's just been, yeah, all day. Couldn't breathe for a while, but it'll be fine. It's just part of the age. Once I started wearing glasses, just all went to shit after that. Back seized up, dick quit working. It's all downhill, it's all done, it's all over. Make sure I got no parts in here, I do. Now that all those dudes are out of there, I got a date with a heating pad after this, I do believe. Now this dude just slides right back in the old same hole that one came out of. Push it up here like this so you got some tension. We're gonna put this guy back in there. There's a crush washer that goes with this dude, but it's already in there, jammed in the fork leg. So we're gonna put a little pipe dope around the bottom, not on the threads. You don't want anything on the threads because then you won't be getting it out next time. The only part that seals is the face of the bolt right here, so that's what you're sealing. Sealing and cap peeling. Oh, come on, what's going on here? There it is. Good heavy duty tightening. Let's go back to the old fluid tables. This guy takes 8.5 ounces. Make sure I got everything correct here before I move too far. 8.5 ounces, a little more for this side. We will get some more blood fluids. This is blood racing. This is the super fluid. This is on KruesiOriginals.com. This whole front end is on KruesiOriginals.com. You can purchase all these fancy goods there. Everything that we put on in every one of these videos is available on KruesiOriginals.com. That's why we do this. Okay. A little fluid down the spout. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is some blood fluid in my spout. Bend me over and turn me out. I'm putting 20 weight in too, if there's a question on that. I've run 20 weight in all my forks. I'm not a fan of the light fluid in a fork. I like to put a little fork oil on the threads because they are fine thread and they are built aluminum, so it would be nice to have a little bit of lubricants just so you don't gall them up. Pretty much just Clark Kent now. What's that, Lois? Superman had a bad back too. It's normal. You know, he just didn't let it show. Little amino acids and some crystal light. Mostly because the amino acids taste like shit. All right, these dudes are just hanging out right now. This is not where this front end is gonna sit, but I'm not going to also really put it together because waiting on some wheels. Right now, I'm gonna pull the wiring and all this stuff out of these handlebars, pull this dude apart, and just get the handlebars mocked up on here. We're running some Ness. These are the stainless, welded together handlebars. I got these just because they look super sick. And the bend feels really good, and I really like how aggressive this knurling is. So usually when you got a tall bar like this, they tend to slip no matter what. So a good bit of knurling should make things locked in. We've got some archetype 5.5-inch pullback risers with a single gauge mount coming. It's gonna look super dope with these. And we got a stainless steel Stealth. This bike's gonna be mostly stainless and black. It's gonna be very kind of, you know, an industrial kind of look, the way I kind of like to do things, a little industrially. I personally, I don't remember the last M8 Softail I built. Trent built one a while ago. I did some cams and an ST a while back, but haven't like done a pretty significant build on a lowrider or a Softail period in a minute. Not since mine. It's pretty exciting. I'm going to possibly build another one pretty soon. Got a few ideas, some things I want to do. We've got another couple big projects coming up that coincidentally are going to need some funding because I got some lofty goals of some stuff that I want to build. And you know, when you get that idea of something you want to build in your head, you just have to make it happen no matter what it takes. I've really wanted to make this build happen that's coming up that I can't really talk about yet, but it's a surprise. I need to make some serious moves with it, so I think I'm going to sell my bagger. The build-off bike will most likely be for sale solely so we can fund the next project, and then the next project, and the next project, because we do build a lot of really rad stuff here. Not to blow my own dick or anything, but I mean, we do put some serious money and stuff into building as gnarly as we can so we can do cool stuff for you guys. But in all reality, it's expensive and we're not rich. I know people think we are for some reasons, but we 100% aren't. And if you've ever actually been to this shop and seen what a small organization this really is, we are not loaded. So I gotta sell one to build another one. Need to sell the race bike or the bagger. Either one would be a good move in the right direction to finish or get started on the next one. The next one, we've got some pretty innovative new ideas of kind of something way, way different. It might make everybody mad, or everybody might be stoked. I'm not really sure which way it's gonna go yet, but I'm hoping everybody's stoked on it because it's something I've wanted to do for a long time. And let's just say I bought a frame jig to make that happen. So there's definitely something gnarly coming your way. I want to figure out how to message our members on YouTube so we can start doing giveaways for our members on YouTube. Does anybody know, because I haven't been able to figure that out yet, but how to message members like that are on our YouTube membership? Because if you can let me know, we're going to start giving away stuff to our members on there. So members that are watching, tell me how I can message you, because I can't find any way to message the members on there. But yeah, I need to be able to message the winners so we can do giveaways, and I've got a bunch of rad stuff that I want to give away on there, but I haven't figured that out yet. So anybody knows, members only video telling who won, blah 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 won, but then they can't message us. There's not like messaging on YouTube, there's only comments. You can't like message someone and say, hey, you won. And when it says they're a member, it just has their YouTube handle, you know? It's not like Instagram where you can just go message the winner. I've got some stuff I want to give away. I might give away one of those e-bikes. That'd be pretty sick. We got some pit bikes we could give away. We got fucking 3 brand new pit bikes sitting in the box over there. We've had sitting in the box for like a year that we bought to build and do a video with and have not done yet, which you gotta wait till Tommy's fully healed before that ever happens again. Oh man, there's a lot of wiring in this handlebar right here. It's another reason blinkers suck. These blinkers are going because we got some Advan black blinkers that are going on in a different location, a little sleeker look than this jive. Am I gonna be able to get you through the hole? Nope. Man, that sucks. This thing's gonna be a real pain in the ass. I stick way too many wires on this side. This guy does not want to move. There you go, baby, come on. Keep on shoving. The new bike's having this guy external. Night and day difference, so much better. The previous owner of this bike had those fancy Custom Dynamics LED blinkers in it, which work really, really well when you plug them in. I bet he was pissed when he got it back from whoever put the blinkers in for him and didn't plug them in. And they were stuffed back in the neck and run through everything. Like, it's not like you just reach down and plug them in really easy. You got to pull all this shit apart to do it. So yeah, he had Nathan. They were just hanging out on the handlebars, which blinkers are just the ugliest things on a motorcycle. That's the first thing I get rid of, but this is one of them bikes that has to have blinkers, so we're just gonna put them somewhere cooler. There is cooler options than this big old ugly stuff. Horror chute. That's horror chute over there. All right, let's get that dude off there. Stock set handlebars, these are kind of nice. Like the whole, like, everything about it, it's kind of a nice set of handlebars. Got real aggressive knurling, the rise. Gotta move slow. Look at this. Does that look familiar? These have a little bend down instead of bend up. These are made to be a little more back like this, where these are made to be a little more up. Straight up and down. These are kind of like your lay it back. Very standard stock Harley-Davidson. So these should be like this when everyone else is gonna want them like this, but Harley makes this sweep up because they just haven't quite got that figured out yet. It's a pretty nice set of bars. It really is. All right. Don't need them no more. But these are not the risers we're gonna use. I do want a quick look at this guy. I want to see him on the bike, just for my own satisfaction. Let's see, the knurling's just a bit too wide. It's like out here on the edges, it probably should be in like a 16th, be a little more accurate, but that's a good looking set of bars. The other risers have more of a flat clamp, so that'll all be covered. But yeah, even if you look in here, the knurling is on the inside. It should be out just a little bit. It's not even centered on the post, but that aside, they're still perfectly fine and they look super sick. Really like these bars a lot. Actually, I would run these on my own bike if I had a real stainless steel motif going on. Oh my God, dude. One thing that really sucks about the Lowrider, like, the seat is so deep and so far back because it's just a straight up Softail. I'm so far, like, if this was a Dyna with this bar and riser setup, I would be sitting more like this instead of like leaning forward. Look at how my back is. This isn't comfortable. This is comfortable. Motherfucker, it's not comfortable right now, but this is where a set of handlebars should be on this bike. Actually, the seat should be up and forward. This would be a better seating position. Not a real big fan of this seat either. It's pretty deep as well, which kind of magnifies the depth of the frame itself. These foot pegs really suck. They're super tall, so they make it really hard to get to the brake pedal. Those things are going. They're going straight to the trash. And then we'll have some pullback risers on it so we can, they'll be a little taller, be about right here, be a lot more comfortable riding position, which I'm gonna need a clutch cable. Hope to God I got one. I'm gonna need brake lines. It's got ABS, so that makes things really cool to work with. I got to get that done. And these bars are sick, though. Ooh, I know what I'm going to use them on. Oh man, do I have an idea? 100%. I'm going to use these on the next build. Next thing I do, I think, is going to have a lot of stainless steel and a lot of like dull colors. Yep, I need to sell a motorcycle. Somebody buy a motorcycle from me, quickly. I got to build. I already got the bike. It's just sitting at the dealership waiting for me to come through and pick it up. And then, whammy. Oh my God, dude. I need a masseuse. I need to hire a permanent massage therapist to work here. Preferably female, because otherwise it would be weird. And at least 225 pounds. You got to have some girth behind you. I need some real work put in. If you can squat like 405, maybe a good strong deadlift, you'd be the right masseuse for me. Well, I think on that note, we could call it. Next thing I need is some rims, and I need these risers. This is like the joys of building custom motorcycles. You kind of got to get to one point and then wait for the next point. On the next installment, we are going to keep moving right along with this. We're going to work on this pretty much until it's done, and then when I am just about done with this, we're going to be going back to that blue Dyna, the old 05 Lowrider. I'm going to finish that. We've just been waiting on one single part to finish that clutch cable setup because we're trying to create some new clutch cables for the Dynas for stunt riding, and that's just been a little bit of work. So once that comes in, we'll be finishing that project up and doing that bike. But until then, we're just going to keep plugging away on this guy. It's going to be pretty continuous on this, and we're going to try and stay the path that way of just being continuously on the same project until it's done, instead of kind of jumping back and forth. We jump back and forth because when you're stuck on one for waiting for risers and wheels to come in, you got to keep moving. We need to keep moving forward with projects, so we just go back to the next one. But we're just going to try and make it work. I have a lot of other stuff to do this bike. There's a lot being done to this bike. It is a huge project. All you have to do is go to stylandindsturgis.com. I'm pretty sure that website will be up and ready to go by the time this video launches. Hopefully, if it's not, it will be soon. You go on there and you register. It's free, and you could win this bike. You could win a paid trip to Sturgis. You could win some Rambo shit. You could also win some cash. It's all being given away. You're going to win a custom-built bike by us that will be presented by us to you in Sturgis. We'll actually be presenting all that fancy stuff to you in Sturgis, and it'll be pretty sick. These handlebars are dope. KruesiOriginals.com. You can get these too. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. It really helps out with the algorithm, keeps this channel growing so we can keep making videos and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching. I got nothing else. Am I forgetting something? Go help out Tommy. Tommy's got a GoFundMe. Go to Tommy Wanadina. Tommy that works here. Got in a bad motorcycle wreck during bike week. Broke his femur, broke his shoulder, broke his collarbone. He's in bad shape. Use all the help he can get. We don't really have medical insurance working at Kruesi Originals. Peace!